goal is not to sort of have the game be played for you on TV. You can do that yourself. The fundamental benchmark is, are we telling a story that anyone would enjoy, even the non-Halo person? Then do justice to the people who've been so dedicated to the Halo franchise for these 20 years.
Why do you turn on the game? What makes you want to be a part of that world?
It's all about those details telling you something about the world that you're in. That kind of visual storytelling is the same in either medium.
The opportunity to bring a video game to life.
It's serious world building.
The most difficult challenge was to honor the world of the game.
2 years, 250 drafts, thousands of people working together, one global pandemic later. It's just been a real amazing ride building this series that we're just so excited to bring to the audience. Well, the Halo universe is vast and overwhelming at times, but it also provides you great opportunity because you have so much story to tell, so much lore and canon. My name is Stephen Kane. I'm the showrunner and head writer for Halo Season 1. And I think where you start is with the story you want to tell and the theme you want to explore. And once you sort of narrow that down and build from there, the rest sort of follows. And then every department takes that and they go into high gear and they bring you everything from building the world, the universe, the wardrobe, all the questions about what life looks like in the 26th century, borrowing from the canon and inventing new stuff to go along. But I think that if you try to take the whole bite of the sandwich of Halo, 20 years of history, you'll choke. So the real thing is just to figure out the story you want to tell, start from there, and then build out from that base.
So what we're really hoping to do is deliver a story in a way that we can't deliver in the video games. I'm Kiki Wolfkill. I am an executive producer on the Halo television series and head of transmedia for 343 Industries. Being able to spend 9 hours with Master Chief and the people around him and get to see him in action as we experience in the games, but also be able to spend more time with him in those quieter moments in which he's trying to figure out his path forward in a different way than when you're inhabiting his armor in the game.
I'm really thrilled to be a part of Halo because the canon is so rich and so deep. I'm Jessica Lowry and I am directing episode 7 of Halo. How exciting to have characters that maybe weren't in the game but have been in a book or are a part of canon somewhere that we can reach in and flesh those characters out and really bring a world that is so rich and full alive.
We work hand in glove or head and helmet with 343 to design the stories so that we're both pulling from and servicing all the great stuff people love from Halo and taking it in new directions, sometimes just going deeper with characters, sometimes going wider, sometimes inventing new characters and storylines that feel like they fit into the Halo universe, but they're new. We really wanted to explore the idea that, in order to save humanity, how much of your own humanity are you willing to risk in the process?
The Master Chief was enhanced and trained for one purpose, to win this war.
That's sort of the core theme we explore in the first season. So it's a story of war, it's a story of hope and existential crisis, both internal and external. And we just took that and ran from there. The goal is not to sort of have the game be played for you on TV. You can do that yourself. It's to tell stories about real characters. And the fundamental benchmark is if you've never seen or watched a game, played a game of Halo, or even heard of Halo, if you watch our show, are you entertained by that story? And that's our first goal. Then, if you are a Halo fan, all the stuff we can put in there that services that feeds you.
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
And it doesn't have to even be a story point, it can just be a sound effect. For example, the sound of your shields recharging as a Spartan. Everyone who's played the game knows how that feels. So if you're watching the show and that sound comes on, you go, oh, okay, his shields are coming to life, that's cool. But if you're a Halo person, you know that feeling. It means you're back into the game, back into the fight. So things like that, Easter eggs, story points, characters that maybe are only mentioned briefly, we'll tell you who they are and we'll tell you their backstory. And so if you go deeper and you go do some research or ask your cousin or nephew or brother who loves the game, they'll say, that was so-and-so, didn't you get that? And it just adds to your enjoyment of it.
It is an incredible world that we've built on this series, and I'm really excited about it. My name's Sophie Beecher and I'm the production designer on this show. The production designer on a show, whether it be film or TV, is responsible for the overall look of a show. I felt it was really important, because we were going from planet to planet, to give each planet its own unique look and feel so that the audience would know instantaneously where they were. So for instance, I can say this fleetcom is very grey and brutalist, which is in keeping with the game. I'm standing in the middle of the ops room, which is the hub, the central hub of operations for the UNSC. And behind me there's a labyrinth of corridors which we've built, and then it's a bit like a Rubik's Cube. We kind of reused the corridors, rehashed them, blocked some to be other areas. So this is a big composite set that's been used for quite a lot of the show. We are on the Super Condor, so gamers know the Condor, but we've actually created a Super Condor, which means that there's an extra level, which has been great for shooting and in terms of story and things like that. We've also converted this into a Pelican, which is another very popular UNSC ship. The challenge with this one is it's such an iconic ship in the game, you know, so there's a lot of detail on this set, which hopefully everybody will really appreciate.
The most difficult challenge was to honor the world of the game. I mean, it's got a massive following, like you know. Well, I'm Guy Porchetta and I'm the set decorator for Halo. Initially, designing furniture and designing the world was a massive ask. The scalability of it, a lot of people don't understand that maybe on a game, once a digital asset is created, it can be replicated. Here, everything is in the real world, like you can see. This is not even a fraction of what we have. So to design an element, create a master, and then replicate 150 of them, and then they get blown up, and they get broken down, and they get changed color, and then we're shooting 2 sets at the same time. So the logistical side of it is also extremely challenging.
Obviously, one of the challenges, not the only one, was to represent a video game and to proportion to a human being. My name is Giovanni Lipari, and I'm the costume designer on Halo production. Looking at the images from the game, there are like proportions. Then you wanted to keep on a human, on the person who would wear that thing. So we needed to stretch proportion to matching what we wanted that to look. For instance, the height of the person, the length of the legs, then you cannot really match unless you have, I don't know, someone tall 7 feet or more. Having a person into that thing, we needed to trick that to the point. And so this has been the biggest challenge. So we started making layers, building on this body shape we decided to work on, and then on top of that, we build the armor until the helmet, which is the most important thing at the end.
As you think about the IP, there's so many characters, and there's all of the weapons and vehicles and species, and all of those things are really important to be able to have. But there's also sort of the DNA of, I think, anything that we do in Halo, and something that was really important for us to bring to the show. And so we ended up, through the course of production, doing maybe 20 boot camps, so we could talk about what is Halo, here's what the universe is about, here's what fans love, here are the things we've done, and here's why we've done them, so that they have that background, and also feel a sense of responsibility to all of the time people have put into Halo.
People come up to me out of nowhere. Pediatricians on airplanes, I've been in lines at grocery stores, if I'm wearing a hat that says Halo, or if I even mention to someone, oh, I'm working on a TV show about Halo. You're doing Halo? I love Halo. So there's this sense of responsibility to the Halo community. It was an awesome responsibility, but it was one we took on with joy and enthusiasm, and we just can't wait for everyone to see it.